One morning, you wake up to find his food still sitting in the bowl. He isn't the type to wander off, but you search the house and eventually find him isolating himself. He retreats into the deep shadows under the bed, avoiding eye contact entirely. That behavior triggers an immediate, quiet panic in any owner. You wonder if you did something wrong, or if he's in pain. Then the heaviest question surfaces. Does he know what is happening to him? And is he terrified of the end? For decades, people assumed that dogs wander off because they enter a state of severe anxiety about dying. The scientific consensus shows a completely different reality. Dogs do not experience the kind of existential dread that we do. In 2021, research published in the journal Erkitness proposed an idea that shifted how many scientists view animal cognition. The study explained that dogs possess what is called a minimal concept of death. This means they recognize a severe physiological change in their own bodies, but they cannot conceptualize mortality itself. Humans are the only species capable of ruminating on what happens after we cease to exist. Because dogs lack the specific neurological reasoning to picture an afterlife or a future without them in it, their entire experience remains anchored in their immediate physical sensations. They notice that their legs don't respond the way they used to, and that their appetite has disappeared. Their final days are driven by an honest, immediate reaction to a failing body, completely free from the terror of the unknown. To understand how a dog actually perceives physical failure, we have to look at their primary way of interacting with the world, their olfactory system. A dog's nose is equipped with over 300 million olfactory receptors. This sensory hardware allows them to detect microscopic internal chemical changes within living organisms. A 2024 Penn Vet Working Dog Center study shows dogs detect cancer compounds in saliva with 90% sensitivity. Because of this, a dog constantly analyzes its own chemical signature. With every breath, they literally smell their internal organs failing in real time. When an animal gathers that kind of internal chemical data, distancing themselves from the pack is a highly logical reaction. They aren't emotionally surrendering, they are processing the scent of their own system shutting down. This internal chemical awareness triggers an inherited evolutionary trait. Veterinary researchers call it the animal's total effort to overcome. Hiding in dark corners, losing their appetite, and sleeping for long hours look like depression to us. Biologically, the dog is actively shutting down all peripheral emotions and physical movements to focus every remaining ounce of energy on fighting the illness. Sometimes, instead of isolating, a dog will do the exact opposite and develop a sudden, intense attachment to you. This is an instinctual drive. When their body feels vulnerable, they seek out their designated protector. Then, there is a phenomenon veterinarians see constantly. After days of barely moving, a dying dog will suddenly get up, eat a full meal, and eagerly wag his tail at the door. For an hour, he seems completely normal. This is known as the last rally. As a dying brain loses oxygen, it doesn't just fade to black. Instead, it produces a sudden, intense spike in organized gamma wave activity, high-frequency brainwaves associated with heightened conscious perception. The brain is trying one final time to restore physiological balance. This final burst of energy offers no physical recovery. Instead, it provides a brief biological window that allows the animal to look at your face, share a meal, and reaffirm their bond with their pack before the system fully powers down. For many owners, the end involves choosing euthanasia, a decision heavily burdened with guilt. Medically, it is a highly controlled, painless off-switch for consciousness. Research from UC Davis proves the animal permanently loses all brain activity, falling into a deep sleep exactly 52 seconds after the injection. Sudden gasps afterward are disconnected muscular reflexes. The brain is off. The animal feels nothing. Monitoring at the Free University in Berlin showed that an animal's stress markers remain incredibly low throughout the entire procedure, whether they are at home or in a clinic. Euthanasia carries zero psychological weight for the dog. When their body is failing, it provides a peaceful transition entirely devoid of suffering. What actually matters to the dog during those final conscious seconds happens entirely inside the brain's reward center. This fMRI cross-section shows exactly what that looks like. An fMRI is a medical imaging technique that measures tiny changes in blood flow to detect active brain regions. It reveals that the caudate nucleus, the structure responsible for processing positive emotions, glows intensely at the scent of a familiar owner. It reacts more strongly to you than to food or any other stimulus. Because of that massive neurological activation, your scent, your voice, and your hand on their fur completely override physical pain. You are the absolute last good thing they experience. The aftermath for the human is equally grounded in biology. Brain scans from Harvard and Massachusetts General Hospital reveal that our core emotional networks process the image of our dog identically to the image of our own child. The human attachment circuit responds to the bond and not the species. The relationship you build with a dog is written in shared stress hormones and synchronized heart rates. The profound grief you feel at the end is the accurate, biological cost of having your nervous system tied so closely to theirs. Being there with them in their final moments is the ultimate fulfillment of that bond.